Hogmanay, Old Lang Syne, and Happy New Year. Now we are right back into the action, and the New Year's football started at Goodison Park. And Souček left it late to kick this game into action, but it finished Everton 0, West Ham 1. And I am really surprised by that result. I did not see that one coming. Everton were out of ideas. It was really weird to see because Ancelotti is such a pragmatic manager, such a thinker, a footballing thinker, and I felt sure that he would be able to use his pure sense of the game to beat David Moyes' slightly more pragmatic approach to the game. But sadly for him, he wasn't. This game totally shaped up to be an Everton win. It really did. So full credit to West Ham. They've been very impressive of late. And David Moyes deserves an awful lot of credit. It's Moyes' first win at Goodison Park since he left there for Manchester United 8 years ago. It's taken him a long time to get a positive result there. But yeah, it's one that we didn't see coming. Do you know what I think is a huge factor in this one? Everton, they've been on a bit of a resurgence of late. You know, they started the season very well, then they had a dip, and then they hit form again. They beat Chelsea, they beat Arsenal, they beat Leicester, and people were talking about them for top four and arguably even higher. Do you know what that coincided with? It coincided with fans being back in the stadium. Now, they were due to be back there tonight, but Liverpool's moved tiers, and therefore the fans couldn't be at the stadium. And I think that has had a really drastic impact on Everton Football Club and ultimately the result, because their game against Manchester City was postponed, so they should be really fresh for this game. Bearing that in mind, combine that with the fact that West Ham have actually played twice since Christmas Day, so Everton should have been totally ready for this. They also had a lot of their players back. I think Richarlison was available after his head issue against Manchester United. James Rodriguez was available for selection as well. And it did feel that Everton were primed and ready for this. So I am really surprised by this result. But full credit to West Ham. West Ham have been a really good side this year. They've surprised an awful lot of people, me very much included in that. I didn't see West Ham having a good season at all. I thought David Moyes in his second spell at the club wouldn't last. And I've been proved wrong. And they got it spot on today. Tactically, he got it so perfect. Because what you have to do when you're playing Everton is, it's all very well saying stop Calvert-Lewin, but that's virtually impossible. He's a very good striker. And if he gets the service, he will score goals. You know, he hasn't been scoring as much lately, but we know what he can do when he's given half an opportunity. So what you have to do is stop the service. And Gylfi Sigurdsson has been playing some brilliant stuff of late. He really has. He's a player who I rate highly. Can pull the strings, has a great dead ball skill and acumen, and is actually the kind of player who you can build a team around. He doesn't thrive when you do that. But if he can be like one of many talismen, he can thrive. So you have to stop the service. And I thought that West Ham did that to a plum. They just were excellent at that. They stopped Gylfi Sigurdsson getting any service in. They stopped Bernard getting any service to their front man. And as a result, nothing much happened for Everton going forward. It was a fairly uninspiring performance from them. And I think that they will be asking a lot of questions because it was that moment for Everton to really kick on. It was a kind of game that they needed to get some results in, but they just didn't really have any ideas. They didn't have a plan B. They seemed to just be slightly devoid of any answers. So it has surprised me, this one. But I am very interested in your thoughts on this. But I think it is the impact of no fans in the stadium. Everton were buoyed by having 2,000 fans at Goodison Park. That's removed, and all of a sudden they put in a flat performance like this. So it's surprising on one level that this game happened, but the more that we process it and the more we think about it, it's actually not that surprising. It was quite a good goal. Souček was a nuisance all day for Everton, and there was in the build-up, I thought Yarmolenko, very intelligent little flick from him into Souček. Souček's had a shot. It's been saved by Pickford. Maybe he could have done slightly better, Pickford, but it then ended up breaking, falling out wide to Aaron Cresswell, who has pinged it rather inaccurately, if it was a shot. fallen to Souček, who's knocked it in first time. Good finish, good goal, excellent result. Not an easy place to win at Goodison Park. So West Ham will be feeling particularly invigorated with that result. And it's always going to be nice, isn't it, for David Moyes to go back to his former club and finally get a good result. 8 years after leaving, he has finally broken the hoodoo and got a good result there. And it finished Everton 0, West Ham 1. We now need to talk about Manchester United. I am... there's no surprise here. Aston Villa are an excellent side. We must acknowledge that. I thought they were very good. I thought they probably deserved more from this game. It finished Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 1. What we're going to discuss here, we could obviously talk about how big this result is, and we will do that. We could obviously talk about Paul Pogba being at his mercurial best, dazzling from him in the middle. You must see his contribution to Manchester United's first goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka gets the assist, which I think will be very pleasing for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who wants a little bit more from Wan-Bissaka in a forward-thinking capacity. But Paul Pogba, the brilliance, the skill, the determination, and the just incredible touch and control in the build-up to that goal, it's outrageous. It really is. But we could discuss Paul Pogba's skills. We can discuss Wan-Bissaka's assist. We can discuss the fact that Martial's on fire. I mean, Bruno Fernandes with yet another penalty. We can discuss all of those things, but I think what we actually need to do is discuss our Manchester United going to win the league. I don't know if it's via osmosis. I sit next to Adam McCullough on the kickoff, as I'm sure you know, and what he has been drip-feeding me for a long time now is the phrase, 21 is coming. He actually had it trending on Twitter the other day. And I don't know if I believe it, or I don't know if he's just like hammered it home into my brain so many times, or if I've just kind of picked it up from being in his company. But I am starting to believe that 21 may be coming. And I think we saw something very significant during this match. Really huge for Manchester United. As the referee blew the full-time whistle, something happened. There was a spark. And the celebrations from that Manchester United side were very telling. It was a very different looking Manchester United side. It looked determined. The mentality seemed to be thriving and aggressive and hungry. And they're not words that you would associate with Manchester United over the past 5, 6, 7 years. So, has something changed? The mentality seems to be there. The belief seems to be there. Because the players went wild. It was as if they won a cup. Eric Bailly was at the heart of it. But, I mean, it was Bailly, it was Telles, it was Fernandes, it was Pogba. Everybody was there celebrating as if they knew the significance of this match. When you think of title wins for certain clubs over the years, there are these kind of games, season-defining games that happen in a season. In Mourinho's first year at Chelsea, Chelsea beat Blackburn Rovers 1-0 at Ewood Park in about February, and the celebrations were like this. I remember Liverpool celebrating massively with a win against Everton one year because they knew what it meant. And to me, this feels like it could be that. It feels like Manchester United know that they are onto something. I think they can smell blood with what's going on at Liverpool, and they are going to go out and try and reclaim a title that was once theirs. 21 is coming is what I've been hearing for such a long time, and it's getting to the stage where I think there may be some oxygen and mileage in that statement. The game, Manchester United didn't look great. I think Ollie Watkins should have probably scored a goal. Matty Cash hit one towards the end that could have been a slightly different story, and Paul Pogba gave the ball away. Yeah, Paul Pogba was man of the match, but I don't know what he was thinking towards the end of the game. He really did nearly allow Manchester United to get back into the game. But a word on Villa, I thought they were excellent. Jack Grealish played slightly more centrally, particularly in the first half. Not at his best there, but as soon as he was out wide on the left again, pulling the strings, looked brilliant. They got back into the game really, really skillfully. Bertrand Traore scored, good finish. Ball came across the area, low, flat, on the ground. First touch from Traore, set him up. He finished it with his left foot, tucking it past De Gea. But what can we say? There's a Bruno Fernandes penalty, as I'm sure you would expect. But I think it probably was a penalty. I think there was some clever play involved. But Manchester United are displaying all of the attributes to be considered for serious title contenders. Martial's on fire. Pogba is looking at his dazzling best. De Gea on form and lively, celebrating, up for it. Eric Bailly leading the charge, and in Bruno Fernando, they had the man of, certainly one of the men of 2020, and he continued his form. Picked up exactly where he left off. So the question I'm going to ask you now, as I bid you good night, is 2021 coming? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all tomorrow.